times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you never leave. Strap my lungs, then we puffin' through with that right. But giving them some stories, they come back like manic this, manic that, why you crawling to me? The hell we gonna...
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can make your car battery last twice as long with these simple tricks and tips that I'm going to be giving you, and I'm going to be showing you certain products that you should use to keep your battery in the best condition possible all the time, especially when your car's sitting or when you're actually running your car. And this will prolong the life of your car battery on your car without needing to spend £140, £150, $240, $200 for a new battery on your car. As you know, BMW batteries are expensive, so I'm going to go over how to prolong the life of your car battery. Okay, so as you'll see here, we've got the battery located in the floor, which is on the BMW M5. Now, many of you guys know these are AGM batteries, some of them are acid batteries on a BM and vice versa. And you know, you can, a lot of people, being this is an M5 and a lot of other BMs, a lot of people do leave them sitting and the battery will discharge itself. Now, discharge for a battery is good because the one thing with a battery, especially any battery on a car, you don't want to overcharge it and just leave it full, because it will just kill the cells. So it needs to discharge to then charge back up every time you start the car. Now, a lot of people just leave their BM sitting, no charger attached, no nothing, and these batteries run completely dry and run down. Now, the best advice I can actually give you to keep these batteries running perfectly is to make sure you run the car, take it for a drive to keep the battery fully charged. That's what the alternator is there for, to recharge the battery every time you actually start the car. But a lot of people don't get to drive their cars that often, therefore when they come to start their car they realise that these batteries drain. Now, these batteries drain on the BM mostly because of all the electronics, and the battery is what's keeping them alive, and the battery's there in the help to start your engine. Now, you do have the IBS sensors I've spoke to you previously about, which BMW fitted. That way your battery will never run flat to the point you can never start it, but that's just not the case. My best advice, if you're going to leave your car sitting, is to get yourself one of these, which is a simple battery maintainer, battery charger. Now, I do believe in using one of these. A lot of people are going to get at me for this because I've said never to use that, but if a lot of you did watch my previous video regarding this charger, I did not say these were bad chargers. I said these are not meant to be used for program, which a lot of people seem to believe. Now, with these chargers, do not connect them directly to the battery, connect them to the front terminals under the bonnet to charge the battery correctly, because that way it runs through the DME and it gets the signal, it knows the voltage going to the battery. If you do put it directly on the battery and you overcharge it, you will see a car on the lift symbol, and that's because the car then thinks it's got a high battery discharge, because these chargers will discharge the battery, let the battery come down, and then fully recharge it again. That's what they do, they're trickle chargers. So they wait for the battery to start draining, and they recharge back up. So then it seems to think it's got a battery issue or a high battery discharge because of the fact the battery wasn't full when you last turned off the car for what it remembers. That's why you'll get the ramp lift. It's nothing to be concerned about. But I do recommend, if you're having your car sitting a lot of the time, especially in your garage, or you don't use it much, to put one of these on to keep your battery constantly always being charged, and that way it's always ready to go when you want to use it, and it's not just sitting there dying and going flat. And therefore you will never have to use jump leads, which you guys know I advise against on any BMW, and never put them on the front terminals here, put them on the front terminals in the engine bay. Therefore you won't have to use a jump pack or jump leads. You can always use the battery charger and save your battery. Now, as you guys remember, old cars just use a battery where you would top up with water if it would go down, and it will keep your battery constantly running. The days of that is now gone, and obviously you've got these acid batteries and you've got AGM batteries, which don't require that. Once they're dead. These batteries are expensive, therefore I do recommend to maintain them. Now, another way to check your alternator and if your battery's good, or if it needs recharging, or to test it, which a lot of people ain't aware of, is there's many devices that you can buy that will test the battery and tell you if it needs a recharge, if it's a good battery or it's a bad battery. And for instance, we're going to use this device right here. This is something I use all the time to test batteries on cars. You'll see right here, this is a topped-on RT battery. Now, many of you would have seen on my video about me using this. All we're going to do is we're going to connect this to the negative, like that. We're going to connect this to the positive, like that as well. And you'll see it power on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test it in AGM. So if we just go to English, and we're going to do in vehicle again, before charge, and then if you check it with AGM, so we'll do flat rate and we'll just do 110 again. You know, you have to be positive that this is the correct battery because it can give you mixed signals. So you see they're still showing a good recharge, even if this was an AGM battery as well. So it will tell you if it's actually good. So you see there's a good recharge as well on that one. So if we press OK again, we go to English, in vehicle, before charge, and we go to regular flooded, GB, 110 amps an hour, and you can change this to CCA as well. Don't be fooled, that's why in USA it was in cold cranking amps. In UK it's amps an hour, that's the way we call it here. So you see testing again, you see right there, it says a good recharge as well, which we know that as well. So there you go, it is a good recharge battery. This will tell you if your battery needs replacement. It will say to here replace, or it needs charging, it will tell you as well. So this is a very handy device to carry with you, especially if you're getting battery drain. This will detect it straight away if your battery is completely drained out and worn out and needs to be changed. Therefore, I do recommend to buy one of these devices because it's another good thing to keep with you, to always test your battery, just to keep it at home. You don't need to carry it around with you, but it's a really, really good device, and it's so quick and easy, simple to use. Like I said, it can do the crank test as well and tell you if there's enough power come from the alternator. It can tell if the battery's faulty or the alternator's faulty, and then you can work out which one is which and which one's actually causing your electrical issues and also your battery to drain down at the same time. So I just want to speak a bit more on the battery charger now. Many of you guys know I did do a video saying don't ever use the CTEK charger. This is a BMW one, but as many of you guys know, CTEK actually make them for BMW, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and they'll have them in the showrooms. When I put that video out regarding this charger, I did not mean to not use it for your car to charge your battery. I actually meant not to use it for programming, and a lot of people took that actually the wrong way. Maybe it was my fault, I didn't put it clear in the title, but I did not mean to not use it to actually charge your car. These are very good chargers and I use it all the time to charge all my cars, and I do recommend it. I will put it in the link below to actually go and buy this charger as well, but I do not think you should be using it for programming, and therefore that's the reason I made the video. Don't ever try and use it for programming. It's not stable enough and it's not sufficient enough for programming on a BMW. CTEK do programming on voltage stabilizers, which are good enough to do that, but this is what a lot of people try and use for programming, thinking it's going to be okay, and I've seen a lot of people on YouTube actually using this, and that's the reason why I did make that video. So I hope this is going to actually clear it up. And like I said, I do use this myself, and I'm not sitting here saying I knock this device, and I'm not going to sit here and say I would never use this, because I do use this charger. This is the whole reason I got it. It's a BMW Genuine. I actually bought this myself from BMW way before I started YouTube to actually charge my other E60, and I use this all the time with no faults whatsoever. I hope these tips now help you actually look after your battery, and your battery will last a lot longer than it actually does on your BMW, because I know a lot of people get a lot of battery drain problems and a lot of issues regarding the electronics, and the battery actually wears down. So this video should help you guys on how to look after your battery. Therefore you don't have to keep spending $200 a time on a battery and return it back to AutoZone or O'Reilly's or Euro Car Parts or wherever it is you go for another battery, because the battery is completely draining down. Thank you very much for watching this BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.